We all know the name Marie Curie, right? The legendary scientist, the two-time Nobel Prize winner. But what if I told you the most incredible part of her story isn't just about her discoveries? It's about what she had to endure just to get a chance to make them. Today, we're talking about the real price of knowledge.
So before all the fame, before she changed the world, her story really starts in a place you'd never expect. Not in some grand laboratory, but in a freezing cold attic. It was just her, alone, with this incredible all-consuming desire for one thing: to learn.
So to really get this, we have to go back, not to Paris, but to her childhood in Warsaw, which at the time was under Russian rule. She was born Maria Skłodowska into this family of teachers, a family that had already lost pretty much everything because of their Polish patriotism.
Now, here's the first huge roadblock. In 19th century Poland, if you were a woman, university was completely off-limits, just forbidden. For a mind like Maria's, can you imagine how frustrating that must have been? So what did she do? She joined something called the Floating University, basically a secret underground school where people risked going to prison just to teach and learn.
But even that wasn't enough. She knew she had to get to Paris, so she and her sister, Branya, made a pact. It's really an incredible deal when you think about it. Maria would work as a governess for 6 years and send all her money to Branya so she could go to medical school in Paris. And then, once Branya was a doctor, she would pay for Maria's education. 6 years of putting her own life on hold.
And finally, after all that waiting, the day came. It's the fall of 1891. Maria is 24 years old, and she finally arrives in Paris. She walks through the gates of the Sorbonne, the absolute heart of the scientific world. And to mark this new beginning, she takes a new name: Marie.
You can just feel her excitement in her own words. She said, "It was like a new world opened to me, the world of science, which I was at last permitted to know in all liberty." Her dream had come true. But sometimes getting what you want is only the beginning of the struggle. The reality of her dream was about to test her in ways she couldn't even imagine. Please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, share and like our videos. The information in the video is compiled from open sources. Thank you.
Okay, let's put this in perspective. When Marie enrolled, only 2% of the students at the entire University of Paris were women. 2%. So she's already an outsider. And on top of that, she gets this sinking feeling. That secret school back in Poland, it just hadn't prepared her enough. She was behind. Her French wasn't perfect, and her math and physics were way behind her classmates.
So what does she do? She doubles down. To focus completely, with zero distractions, she leaves her sister's warm, comfortable apartment, and she moves into a garret, a tiny, unheated attic room on the 6th floor of a building in the Latin Quarter, just so she could be closer to the university.
And her life just completely stripped down to the bare essentials. Everything, and I mean everything, was dedicated to her studies. Her budget was laughably small. There was no money for heat, no money for proper food. Every single cent she had went to her university fees and her books.
I mean, the stories from this period are just brutal. We're talking about surviving for weeks on nothing but bread, a little butter, and tea. It was so cold in her attic room that she would just go to the library to stay warm. At night, she'd pile every single piece of clothing she owned on top of her blankets, just trying to fight off the freezing cold. She even fainted from hunger and exhaustion. And through all this, she actually chose to resit her entire first year, just to make sure she caught up. The dedication is just unbelievable.
Okay, so after years of this absolutely relentless sacrifice, the big test finally came. Marie was facing her final exams at the Sorbonne.
So this is it, right? After all the hunger, the cold, the isolation, after living on basically nothing but intellectual passion, was it all going to be worth it? Could she really compete with students who had every advantage she never did? The results weren't just good. They were absolutely mind-blowing. In 1893, she graduated with her degree in physics. Not just graduated, she was first in her entire class. First. And then, as if that wasn't enough, she came back the next year and got a degree in mathematics, graduating second in her class.
Imagine seeing that list, and right there, at the very top, Maria Skłodowska. That young woman from Warsaw, the one who started so far behind everyone else, the one who shivered herself to sleep and fainted from hunger, she had beaten them all. It was just this incredible triumph of pure, stubborn, unyielding will.
And you have to understand, this wasn't just about getting good grades. This was the foundation for everything that came next. This success gave her the confidence, it gave her the credentials, and crucially, it earned her a scholarship that let her stay in Paris and keep working.
So that graduation, it really wasn't the end of the struggle. It was the beginning of the legend. Just look at what happened next. She marries fellow scientist Pierre Curie. She discovers not one, but two new elements, polonium and radium. She becomes the first woman in France to ever earn a doctorate, and then she wins a Nobel Prize in physics, and then another one, this time in chemistry. All of that was built on the resilience she forged in that freezing attic.
Marie Curie's story is, of course, a testament to absolute genius and resilience. It shows us what a person can achieve when they simply refuse to give up. But it also leaves us with this really powerful and kind of haunting question, doesn't it? How many other Marie Curies are out there, brilliant minds lost, not because they lack talent, but simply because they never get the chance?